Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're going to get through the West. This is the easiest route for the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to beat the Phoenix Suns, and they're going to beat whoever next they see in the second round, and then they're going to beat whoever else in the Western Conference. Look, here's the fact of the matter, right? We watched 2 games of LeBron James and Anthony Davis play, and they look healthy to me. And that was the only concern when it came down to the Los Angeles Lakers was the health and the health concerns of Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and they look healthy to me. Now I'm gonna tell you where the Lakers took a leap, and I thought they did a tremendous job. When they played the Houston Rockets, although it was the Houston Rockets, and I get it, one of the worst teams in the NBA, but they are still professionals, okay? AD and LeBron James set out. Great call by Frank Vogel and his coaching staff by sitting them out. You know why? Because that one game helped the role players and the others gain confidence and help them figure things out without LeBron James and Anthony Davis being on the floor. We saw Tatum Horton-Tucker. He had to play out of position, right? Had to play the point guard position because Dennis Schroeder wasn't there and Caruso wasn't there. We saw Kyle Kuzma had to elevate his game in the clutch moments. We saw Caldwell Pope had to knock down timely shots. And then we also saw Markieff Morris find his rhythm, who had been struggling all season long. So health was the concern. Along with that, they have the best defense, Molly, in the NBA. So, yes, I do have the Los Angeles Lakers repeat.
Well, I don't. I have them going to the finals and then running in to the Brooklyn Nets, running into KD, where KD will be in the finals, and he will average 30, okay? That's what he's averaging, at least 30 on 50% shooting or better, and better than 35% shoot from three-point range. That's what KD gonna do, all right? And I just think that having him with Kyrie and James Harden, they better win. I will say this, Brooklyn better win, because if they don't win, ain't nobody gonna give a damn about KD, Kyrie, and especially anything Kyrie has to say. They gotta win the chip, no doubt about it. But I think they're gonna do it. I think that they're too lethal offensively, and more importantly, whether they'll admit it or not, just winning basketball games, they're accustomed to doing that. I think Kyrie and KD want LeBron. James Harden wants a championship. He wants that championship on his resume. I think KD and Kyrie want LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think that they would be extraordinarily hyped for that. Not to say they won't be hyped for the finals, period, but extraordinarily hyped for that, especially Kyrie, to go up against LeBron in the finals. And I just think that they just have too much firepower, and I think that they would beat the Lakers because I don't consider the Lakers to be 100%, and as LeBron said, he ain't going to be 100% again. I think they need to be in order to beat Brooklyn. And the health of LeBron and Anthony Davis, I think some nicks and knacks will come their way. I don't think they'll be 100% healthy. And I think that going up against Brooklyn will be too much offensively for them.
Even if they were healthy, Perk, Stephen A's right, although, Stephen A., your focus is on the wrong guys. KD and Kyrie are unstoppable weapons. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be weapons. But the real story on these Nets is when they hired Steve Nash as head coach, and then he picks up D'Antoni, and then they trade for Harden. You know, what that D'Antoni system was run first by Steve Nash, and then even better by James Harden, right? And that's who they got on the bench now with Harden running the show. Think about this. When LeBron had Kyrie and Kevin Love, Stephen A., you said what he would say before going into a series with the Steph, KD, Clay, Dre Warriors was a concession speech. Like, even LeBron crewed up was like, that's too much. But you know what team took him to a 7th game? You know what team took him to a 7th game at home? You know what team took him to a 7th game at home and only had one star on the team because Chris Paul got hurt? The D'Antoni Harden Rockets. And they missed 27 consecutive threes, still only lost by single digits to that Warriors team that LeBron crewed up had no shot against. Well, guess what? D'Antoni and Harden this time, they're not just like missing Chris Paul and they have some other role players. They got KD and Kyrie. They got way closer against the Warriors than LeBron could crewed up before they had a crew, without a crew, because they were playing the most efficient, even if it wasn't the most, crowd-pleasing style of basketball. They're going to do that again, only with KD and Kyrie this time. Perk, it's too much for any team to overcome. The talent is stacked too high. They're going to play too efficiently. And by the way, turns out Blake can still play. And don't leave Joe Harris open, but you have no choice.
Well, Max, one person that you're forgetting to talk about when you talk about too much is Anthony Davis. And you tell me one person, if the Brooklyn Nets get to the finals and match up with the Los Angeles Lakers, you tell me one person on that team that's going to stop Anthony Davis. We saw with Anthony Davis, we witnessed what Anthony Davis did last year in the bubble when he had to go against Big Nurkic, when he had to go against Big Jokic, he had to go against Bam, he had to go against all those bigs, elite bigs, to get to where he was, and he dominated in great fashion. I'm talking about Shaquille O'Neal and Wilt Chamberlain numbers, historical numbers in that playoff run. So tell me who on the Brooklyn Nets is going to guard or stop Anthony Davis.
No
he
one.
is going to have a field day.
You know,
I mean, it's possible that he could average 40 and 15 in that series. If he does that, it's definitely no debate, which he's capable of doing.
KP, let me chime in here at you for a second here and break this down. And this is why I respectfully disagree with you. I get where you're coming from because Anthony Davis is going to get his, and he's going to get his numbers and what have you. And obviously, usually against most teams, he'll have a profound effect. Like, for example, if he went against Denver, Jokic, whatever he does to everybody else, can't easily do to Anthony Davis. Here's my issue with Anthony Davis against Brooklyn. Number one, Anthony Davis, despite his prowess as an overall big and what he brings to the table, he primarily hurts you from the perimeter. The brother can shoot the basketball. And 15 to 17 feet away from the basket, whether facing or his back to the basket, he can do some damage to you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.